Afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on First and Third at 3 as we talk about our new purchase requisition process that we have for Michigan, Ohio, and Florida. It does differentiate just a little bit between regions. So we'll go ahead and discuss what that means for you guys, for our ASCs, our RSCs, and our managers. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute, type them in the chat. If you are Tracy or Kelly or Jason and you have some insight to share for more region specific, just don't hesitate to jump in and share your information with us. So I appreciate your guys' time today. Like I said, you are hopefully looking at Schmidt Resources. Somebody give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Nicole. So whether you're launching from Michigan, Ohio, Florida, you will have this option in both the ASC square, the RSC square, and the manager square. So we're going to jump into the ASC square. If you need the passwords for these squares, just reach out. They each have their own specific password. And then you're going to look for this pretty purple form right here where it says purchase requisition forms. When you click on that, there's marketing order forms for a project request form and for the for sale sign ordering form. There's also the purchase requisition forms by region. So Michigan, Ohio, Florida West Coast, Florida Paradise, Florida Premier / Amelia Group. So obviously based on where you sit is the form that you would use. So on the front end here, if you would like to order a lamp, a vacuum, if you need a new sign, if you want the office to have postcards, if you want to do any kind of expenditure in any of the regions, if it's over $100, you need to get your purchase requisition form first. If you're in the state of Michigan, anytime you want to order anything, you have to get your purchase requisition form first. Ohio and Florida have a little bit of a different system for under $100, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So again, whether you're sitting in Michigan, Ohio, Florida, West Coast, Paradise, or Premier, if it's over $100, you just need to get that purchase requisition form first. Now, based on the region, the team of people that review these differentiates a little bit. Jason and Austin are handling Michigan. Cami and Vanessa and Felicia have Ohio, and then Kelly and Rob and our VPs are handling Florida. So again, Kelly, if you're on and you want to clarify that, just let me know. But there are people on the other ends of these form that will then reach back out to you based on their cadence for the purchase requisition form. If you haven't gotten an answer and you're questioning it, just reach out. We'll get you with the right people so that they can explain that specific process for their region to you guys. So for example, in Michigan, again, if you want to order a new rug for the door, you want one of our great global luxury logoed rugs, just have to get your PO number first. So they're all Google Forms. They all look very similar to each other. You choose your office location. It should be alphabetical by the name of the location. There is a number after that has to do with account tech and the general ledger code for that office. So you guys don't need to know what your office's number is. You don't have to worry about that, which is why we put the alpha by office first. So you would pick your location. You put in your name. So if it's the ASC, the RSC, or the manager, it's up to you guys how you work locally on who's going to be doing the requesting. You put your name in here. You put in your email address, vendor name or department. So if you are ordering a rug from the marketing group, you would choose the marketing group as a support department. If you need to purchase a lamp or a vacuum or something outside of Staples, you would choose Amazon, or if you're locally getting something, you would choose those options. There is also an option for other. And if you choose other, you're able to fill in the blank on what that might be. So maybe you are doing a lunch and learn and you want to provide pizza. So maybe the other is Domino's. Again, Ohio and Florida, over $100, Michigan, any type of activity that is going to be happening. Description of requested item. Pretty self-explanatory. Price. Now we know the price is going to be sometimes hard to get. So as far as the marketing items, they do have their price sheet available for you to review. Obviously, you can jump onto Amazon and get the price of what it might be. Lunch and learns, you're going to have a pretty ballpark figure of what the cost will be. So just come as close as possible when it comes to ordering those items. If it's something for the marketing group outside of what's on the price sheet, just reach out, call Tracy, talk through it with her and get what that price might be. Then if there's an alternate item that you can request, say that you pie in the sky want a brand new Dyson vacuum and that's $200. Well, maybe there's a really great Shark version that's a little bit less. You could put that as the alternative there as well. And then you click submit. I'm going to click clear form.
I'll take one of those Dysons from my house, Carrie.
Know, right? Especially with the puppers and all the dog hair.
Right? Can you approve that for me?
I'll get on that. I don't think that your location is on our drop-down list though, Tracy. So we're going to go ahead and click clear form just because I don't want to submit that. Austin might think I've lost my mind. So we're going to clear form. So again, if you are in Ohio, sort of the same, you're going to have your own office locations here. If we've messed up and missed a location or misspelled one or whatever, just reach out. We can easily update that form. And then the same options apply there. Now what will happen is those teams of approvers, again, the regional presidents, their accounting people, whoever they've tasked with this will then reach out to you with a PO number. Once you have that PO number, you will take that back to order it however it is that you normally would. If it's an Amazon purchase, you can send it to me with your PO number. We'll get that purchased. Obviously, if it's local lunch and learn or whatnot, that PO number will go on your expense form. And I'll show you that in a minute, how that new form operates. So if it is a beautiful new rug for your office and you're ordering it from the marketing group, that once you have your PO number, you'll go to the marketing project request form. You can see right here, please click here to view our current in-house pricing for reference. And when you click on that, this great sheet comes up. Again, if it's something outside this sheet, just reach out. So Tracy, I don't know if you want to give more detail on that.
Yeah, so what you're going to see on this price sheet is a lot of printed products. Do you guys remember your MAT order form that you had in your ASC square and your pocket folder order form and your name badge order form? We're keeping all of those quick links as well, so that and we'll have the pricing there for you as well in a drop down, so that you can pick what you want and the price is right there. But yeah, this is really, we do so many things that we're trying to get all the prices put together. And as Carrie said, if something isn't there, just reach out and we'll go ahead and give you the pricing for it, okay? Now, Carrie, did you want to go back to the form for a second? So as you scroll down, really basic information, purchase requisition number approval date. Those two are required fields, okay? They're the only fields that are required. And for Michigan, for Ohio and Florida, and Carrie, do you want me to go into this right now since we're on this?
Sure, go ahead. I was going to cover it, but you can do it.
Okay, so for Ohio and Florida, the state presidents have allowed purchases that are under $100 to go through without a purchase requisition number. Please make note of that. In the state of Florida, in the state of Ohio, you do not need a purchase requisition number to place an order. Okay, so for the purposes of the marketing group in keeping us organized across 90 offices, 3 states and a territory and 3 brands, we still need you to still submit all of your orders through this avenue. Now, because you don't need a purchase requisition number, all I need is your name, the person ordering it, okay? So just put your name, Carrie Scomp, and then put today's date because Carrie's placing the order today, okay? If it's over $100, I'm gonna need the requisition number and the date. Under 100, your name. Finish out your request as usual and hit submit. Okay. Sound good? So all orders for the marketing group have to come through your ASC square, your RSC square, or your manager square. Okay. So if it's a director or RVP or whomever, manager square, if you guys are placing it on their behalf, no problem, do it through your ASC square. So what we don't want you to do is go into the online marketing project request form anymore. You're going to go into your square to order everything through the marketing group and follow that process. We don't want you to email designers or marketing people directly to order stuff or pick up the phone and call them. We want you to go through your square and do your ordering, and then we will reach out to you, okay? You don't want to use marketing@schmidthq.com for those of you that are still using that, you're probably getting that message back saying, hold on, we're not monitoring this anymore. Please go here. So for anything related to the marketing group, and there's a lot of stuff. There's for sale signs, name badges, new agent business cards. If you need marketplace swag for a gift, anything that's being paid for by the company, mats, pocket folders, CB branded business envelopes, anything that you need needs to go through your Square to order with either a full name if it's under 100 or a purchase requisition number if it's over 100. Okay.
And
everything goes through there.
Yep. And you can see there is the separate one for the for sale sign here.
Yeah. We also have separate ones for name badges and other things. If they're not populating very easily, I'll make sure they are, but we're trying to put in those, the prices, so you guys can see them right away.
Perfect.
Okay.
So back to the, sorry.
No questions? No, it's pretty clear, right? No questions, anybody?
And this doesn't affect the agent. They still go through their normal ordering process, however they normally would do it. This is just for items for the office.
Anything that's being paid for by the company. So new agent business cards are being paid for by the company, right? Anything that's being paid for by the company goes through your Square. Anything an agent's paying for, they're going to do it like they normally do. Online marketing project request form, for sale sign Square and Schmidt resources. They're all good. This is just for anything being paid for by the company.
And Sue had a great question. If it's a request for a marketing department, but it doesn't have a cost, so think social media post or digital invite, should that go through the project request form, the previous one, or this form here?
I think to be consistent, so you guys aren't doing two different things, just put it through the Square all the time.
Okay.
We're monitoring it ongoing. And I think it's better to stay in a habit than do two separate things. So I would say and what you do is, because it doesn't have any cost associated with it, you just put your full name and the date for your purchase requisition number and the date. We know it doesn't cost anything, still send it through your Square. So I will add, Michigan was the first to launch. And we went into full effect last Wednesday with the purchase requisition process. So anything that is happening, from that date forward, that will be billed from that day forward, does need to follow that purchase requisition process. Okay. And then I believe, from what I understand from the state of Florida, we are starting this on Monday in the state of Florida.
Yep. And Michigan's done a lot of work, you guys. Michigan has really done a lot of work to get this process smoothed out. So thanks to Austin and Jason and Kristen Gray. They've worked through some of the bumps already. So Ohio, more to come exactly on when you're launching. I know Felicia has a plan, so more to come on that. You'll be able to discuss this more too in your local RSC huddles, so that if you have any specific questions, they'll be able to cover that as well.
Yeah.
Tracy, Michelle Cruz asked about name badges.
Yeah, everything has to go through. Well, in the state of Florida, that's not true, Michelle. You're in the state of Florida, so name badges are under $100. So you would still go into your ASC Square and, are you talking about Express Docs? What is she talking about?
Just I think they want everything ordered through this form.
Everything goes through the form.
And Carla, this does not affect Staples. So on the Staples end, we already have that process. Kristen and myself monitor Michigan and Ohio. Kelly helps monitor Florida. So that Staples does not affect this at all. So good question there. And on the front end, if you do have an item that's not on the list, say you do need that vacuum, you can just reach out to Kelly or myself. Usually we can source those things a lot less expensively from Amazon. Then we'll get the approval, then we'll be able to order it.
Yeah. So I think I know what Michelle is saying. So Michelle, so for Coldwell Banker name badges, go through the name badge order form in your ASC Square. Okay. When you're ordering for our Century 21 Schmidt Real Estate, because it is under $100, continue your process as normal. Go directly into Express Docs and use my credit card. Does that answer your question, Michelle?
Yep. She says, got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Sue, so we cannot reach out to designers directly for that stuff either. To get the process started, Sue, to follow this cadence, this new cadence of all staffers going through their ASC, RSC, or Manager Square, yes, we want everyone to be doing all of staff ordering through that square. Tom Heiser says he has a question for me.
Yeah, okay. I keep on getting beaten up by certain people here, like Mr. Rob West, when I order envelopes. They say there's a magical number that is the cheapest for the per envelope and for shipping, because it seems like the shipping charges are astronomical. What's that magical number of ordering envelopes?
Yeah, there's a drop-down menu in the envelope square that's in your
I know it says 20 some like 14 cents per 2,500, but the shipping charges is what's eating us up.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could do better on shipping charges, but I don't set those. We weigh them, box them, ship them. So
can we put a list of what those shipping charges are so we can get a
I can put a
complete
rough
accurate
idea.
price?
I can put a rough, all I can do is estimated shipping. I'll double check the volume on those envelopes too, Tom, and see if there's a deeper volume we can go to as well.
Okay, because I know before we can get them a lot less expensive going through express stocks than going through the marketing, but I think some of the prices have changed a little with the marketing pricing, and now it's just about the same.
Yeah, I'll check express stocks pricing as well. Yeah, but shipping, I mean, we ship and we go through either the Postal Service or UPS and they weigh it, and the shipping kind of is what it is. But I'll try to do some estimated, but I'll double check those envelope volumes, and then I'll also do a quick gut check on express stocks. And you know, here's the thing, you guys, we're not a big national publishing house. That's not what we are. And we can't always beat what a big national publishing house does. So if you do have to go outside, you have to go outside. But we'll always try to give you our best price that we can, and then you guys make your decision based on what you'd like to do. Okay.
Great, thank you. And Rob did have a good point. If you do order something in Staples because it's available, but we feel we could get a better price, we will comparison shop. So if you have any questions on those items that aren't typical, just reach out. Carly, Jason, and Austin, I believe, meet twice a week, so it's pretty quick. Also, there's an opportunity, if it's more timely, you can just reach out to Austin and let them know a request went through and we can't really wait, and they'll be able to do that. We try to avoid that. We try to plan ahead, but we know things do come up. So just reach out if you have something more timely.
Yeah. So I see a few more questions here, Carrie, that I'll go and address. So Michelle Cruz is asking, will the marketing banner disappear at the top of Schmidt Resources? Absolutely not. So Schmidt Resources is an agent-facing website, and the online marketing project request form banner at the very top of the screen is for our agents. Everything that staffers order is through your squares, your specific ASC, RSC square, or manager square. Okay. So remember, Schmidt Resources is really about agents, and that online marketing project request form banner will definitely still remain there for our agents to utilize to connect to marketing if they'd like to. Christine is asking if we can clarify the name badge ordering in Michigan. So the name badge order form is still in place in your square. I'll go in and double check and make sure it is there, but all of the information that required is still there. So we gave you some quick links. You'll see a marketing project request form. You'll see a for sale sign ordering form. And then we did quick links, name badge order form, envelopes order form, pocket folder order form, mat order form. I haven't had the mat one updated with the pricing, but I'm working on that. So go into the name badge order form that's in your square, just as it's always been. And again, I'm going to double check this, but your purchase requisition number and date is there. Just type in your name and then the date that you order. Okay. So you're not going to two different forms. You're just picking the form based on what you want to order. And yes, Sue, everything is going through the purchase requisition process in the square. Anything that's ordered by a staffer should be going through your ASC or RSC square. And then we will receive that no different than an online marketing project request form. So everything ordered by staffers goes through squares.
And it does hit Tracy's system on the back end in the same spot. So even though it is a complimentary item, forget that it says, the purchase rec order. It's just the request form so that we only have to go to one spot. That way we're not thinking, okay, is there a cost? Is there not a cost? Which form do I use? It's just the one form.
Yeah, and Sue, something that we'll talk about more is we're going to be launching regional digital marketing plans in the state of Michigan, which a digital marketer will be doing all of that social graphic marketing. So that'll alleviate some of your requests for like social marketing stuff and things like that. And we'll build templates for you and you'll have them accessible for you without having to make a request. So we'll dive deep into that a little bit more. So Christine, you found it. Good. Thank you for the name badge order form. That's great.
And we do understand this is a new process. As we mentioned, Michigan jumped in first. So we have worked out some kinks, but there'll be more. It's a new process, right? And we do have 90 offices. We like to them to operate exactly the same, but they don't. There's a little bit of tweaks for each place. So that's why we try to streamline it as much as we can, but we understand that there's going to be other circumstances. So the best thing we can do is just, reach out with any questions, talk with your local RSCs, talk with your managers, your RVPs, and we'll work through some of these bumps. Streamlining where you order things should really help. You won't have to guess. You won't have to try to figure out which designer to reach out to. You fill out the form and then they take it from there. So we're hopeful that it will streamline it. Becky, again on those, and Jason, if you're on, feel free to jump in on your cadence with Austin, but I do believe you're meeting twice a week. So try to plan ahead, Becky. If you have a lunch and learn Monday, just shoot Austin a quick note, say I have this on Monday, just checking in, and they'll know that it's more timely. Okay. What other questions do you guys have for us? Oh, here we go. Sure, Sherry, that's exactly right. For those offices that do have petty cash, it's kind of the same process. You get your PO order, and then once you go to do your petty cash reimbursement, when you get low on funds, you just put that PO number on that line along with, the typical information, the dollar amount, where the money was spent, and the receipt information.
Yeah. I'll take Michelle Cruz's question. So ASCs in Florida will all order the name badges for their own agents. Michelle, I would not change the process that I believe has already put in place for the state of Florida. You would need to connect in with the appropriate leadership. Because badges are under $100, there is no purchase requisition process. So we're not changing your who does what. We're changing how things are done. But name badges are under $100 in the state of Florida, which means it doesn't require a purchase requisition number. So I would connect back in with the leadership that asked you to order name badges for the entire state of Florida. I see no reason to stop doing that by any means. And you and I can talk more about that offline if you would like, and I can help you through that once you've connected into the leadership in Florida, make sure that that process is still the same. I don't believe this purchase requisition process, especially the fact that it's under $100, should change what you're currently doing.
What other questions do you guys have for us? Even though we've just launched a short time ago, it's working really well. We've actually had the opportunity to find some cost savings because it was just waste. We try to keep an eye as much as we can, but some of these things slip through the cracks. So processes like this will really help tighten up what we have going as far as some of those things. So it's been very fruitful, and streamlining where the requests come from really is helpful too. Because again, you guys don't have to guess, who do I call? Who do I email to request this? Obviously, you can reach out to anybody with questions, but you can just fill out the form and then people will be in touch with you. So it's kind of fantastic that we are able to streamline that. We'll leave it open.
Go ahead.
I'll say we'll leave it open for a few more minutes, but I don't see any other questions.
Yeah, and feel free to call us offline too, right? We can go a little slower, kind of explain through things a little bit more, just to make sure you guys feel really, really good. This is a change and it's different. But I think if we all work together and take our time and, we can talk one-on-one and explain things in a little more detail, whatever we can do to help you feel really good about the change.
Hey, Carrie.
Yes.
This is Sherry. What about getting a cheat? Relo has that cheat sheet that has City on it and all the different options for reload. And then, so it gives us all the options so we know how to fill it in account tech. So a little different, but could we get a cheat sheet that has like a marketing section and then a regular section, like, you know, if it's petty cash and if it's under this, you know, go ahead and do it, or whatever the case may be, maybe a cheat sheet could help of some sort.
I understand what you're saying on the back, on where to use your PO number once you have it.
Yeah. And yeah, where you put it, do you need to fill out the form, you know, and what goes in what order we need to go in, you know, place your order next. What's the step procedure kind of thing for each.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea, Sherry. We'll definitely get that out because you don't always order everything every week, right? Sometimes it could be a month until, you know, before you have to do a special order of some sort. So I think that's a great idea and we'll work on that and get that out.
And what about Staples? Does this change anything on Staples?
Nope, Staples is outside of this. That kind of overview process is already in place. You know, we have our approved list and then every order goes to another set of eyes, whether it's me, Kristen Gray, Kelly, they really take the brunt of it. So that none of that will have to change. The only part that may change is we may see an item on it. We may think, okay, I know you need that, but I know I can get it for $40 less somewhere else. We'll deny the one item, push the rest of the through order, and then order that on our own outside of that process. Great questions. And I did forget, I was going to show you that form. So the expense reimbursement template, think a manager does a lunch and learn, buys pizza. This is where that purchase rec number can go right here. So everything else is the same. You do file, make a copy, fill it out, send it to accounts payable. And then we do need to make sure, to Sherry's point, oops, I went back one too many screens. We do want to make sure that our petty cash form reflects the same. So I'll make sure if it's not done today, we'll get that on there as well.
Carrie, can you,
And it doesn't. So we'll update that and get that in there too.
yeah, Carrie, can you, this is the ASC square, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you scroll down?
Yep.
So okay, the folders, envelopes, can you go to that one for me? Order pocket folder, go to order envelopes, please. Thank you. And there it is. Yeah, the purchase requisition. Go down a little further. I want to see if the volume prices are in there. So 2,500 is 8 cents. Okay, Tom?
Mhm.
That's your sweet spot at 8 cents an envelope. And
Can you make that, because there's shipping on top of that, correct?
yeah, shipping and tax, you guys, is anytime we have to ship, you got to factor in shipping and tax. I don't know how specific this requisition process is going to be to include, I mean, shipping and tax is just something we have to do. So I don't know if that's part of the whole requisition process, because I don't know how we ever get that spot on and accurate, because we don't package and ship until after it's ordered. But I'm going to try to give you some rough estimates, Tom. But what's hard is that we have, you know, a gazillion different zip codes. And so we're really just doing an estimate, worst case scenario kind of thing.
Yeah, I would just do it worst case scenario. And then if it's better, we go have a beer.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if we can. I can look for that, Rob. I see that you're asking for a 5,000 quantity. I'll definitely look into that right away. And if we can add it, we're going to add it right in there for sure.
Tracy, this is Julie. When it comes to the shipping, you're correct, because it's when we even do an overnight envelope and we do it the cheapest way possible, we could send it to Marquette and it will cost us $15, let's say, to send it there, but we could send it to Florida, and because it's a larger city, it'll only cost us $9 something.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the zip code it goes to. So it's very difficult to price out the shipping. And I think that your requisitions should not include that, only because of that.
Yeah, shipping and tax, because
you're correct. Florida has a different taxing system than Michigan does, and then Ohio has a different taxing system.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll look at the 5,000 quantity envelopes and see if we can get down there. So yep, I'll work on it though. But thank you, Julie, for that support on that. It is a little tricky. We always do try to ship least expensive method too. We do research that and try to ship least expensive method once we know we have to ship it out. Unless someone tells us I need this right away. And then that's when a larger shipping expense comes into play if they need it super fast.
Great.
Carrie, going back to the expense report, do we still need to get it signed by upper management after we get, like, I don't know, a lunch and learn, and we get a PO for it? Do we still have to have the agent sign it and then have our VP or broker sign it?
At this point, yes, just because it is a new process, it is a little bit redundant because you will have the PO number. But for now, let's not change that process at this moment. So just a quick signature, it can be dot looped over to them or signed physically and scanned. So for now, let's leave that in place.
Thank you.
It's a great question, though. All right, anything else? All right, well, don't hesitate to reach out after the fact. Like we mentioned, it is a new process, so we are tweaking it as we go, and we certainly appreciate your assistance with it. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.
Thank you.